In this video, I'm going to tell you how the British was the biggest empire of all time, and how did they defeat the Ottomans and became the British that we know today. But before I start the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and let's go. I'm so excited because right now we're going to be in my first video that I'm going to tell information in a video. That's why I'm so excited right now. I'm doing some moves right now, but you can't see me on screen because I'm right now going to be filming in the game. I'm not going to be like the other YouTubers. That's why right now. Now, first of all, now I have to do something first. First of all, the British was determined that they could win so much territory and become the biggest empire of all, bigger than the Ottoman Empire. They were fighting first. Their first victim was Australia. Since at the time Australia was really weak. They easily defeated them in a few blows. They easily defeated them in just a few months. They just defeated Australia in just 1 month right now. They just defeated Australia in 1 month, and that was pretty actually a victory for the British. But now Australia got independent. Right now it's independent for British. But now I'm telling the story right now. The British was fighting hard, and they finally beat the Australians. Then the time came the time came to conquering the Canadians. Since they were thinking the Canadians were weak, so weak again. They were thinking that the Canadian was weak. That's why they attacked them. They attacked them. But the Canadians wasn't waiting for this moment to strike back with their powerful weapons. The Canadians were thinking that they can win this war. They fought hard against the British. They fought hard against the British. They won the first war, but they weren't done. But the British was waiting for this moment to strike. But the British was waiting for the moment to strike at the last moment. They took their swords and they went to battle with the British. With the Canadians. They went to the battlefield. They stabbed, they threw. And they also won the war. So they also won the war. but the British wasn't taking it. Then they went to Syria and conquered the land easily. But then the Ottoman War came out. The British was confident that they would win in this war because they had beaten the biggest countries. They were sure that they could win this war. That's why they went to the Ottomans. They finally were dependent that they can beat the Ottoman Empire. So the Ottomans were also dependent that they could win this war. The Ottoman Empire was actually long waiting for this war to break out. Was so ready that since they were so strong, they were actually beating some of the Britishers. But that wasn't enough. The British kept reviving, but the British was still so ready that they still wanted to beat the Ottomans. But the Ottomans, while the Ottomans were thinking they are winning, they were actually kind of losing to this war. They were actually kind of losing this war for some reason. They were actually kind of losing the war, but they were still killing. But they still killed a few soldiers and civilians. Shot them with their pistols. We shot them hard, but it all depended when we were losing. The British had mobilized its army. It was again gonna start a fight with the Ottomans. And they were wholly ready. They were so ready. They were so ready that they could barely hold themselves to finally win this war. Oh, but you can't believe it. OMG, they were so confident. Like literally, they were so confident that nobody could believe that they could actually win this war. But they did. They took the Ottomans down. But that dream was gonna come true one day. They were shooting independently on the Ottomans, like they're going crazy. When one Ottoman showed up, they took the gun out and fired 600 rounds at one Ottoman. Then one Ottoman was leaving the war. They shot him too. when they thought they were actually winning the war, they were again gonna be like losing. But they still were dependent that they would win this war. So they again took their guns and started a fight again. One Ottoman came in front of the British. They quickly killed him in one blow. But it was until this day when something happened in the battlefield. When they were about to kill another Ottoman, the Ottoman did the unthinkable. He was a brave Ottoman that he took his flash grenade, threw it at the British, and detonated it. Okay, something happened here. Oh, it looks like this didn't really do anything, but whatever. Just okay. Now, the British's eyes flashed beyond his eyes because it was so dreadful. The Ottoman, he was so dependent. He took the grenade and blew that one up. He was eventually also killed, but the Ottomans learned if they be brave, they will win. So the moment the enemy was about to kill them, when the enemy was about to kill them, they quickly, when the enemy was about to kill them in front of their eyes, they would, like one of their brave comrades did, like their brave comrade, they threw the grenade and the grenade would detonate on the spot. And the grenade detonated on the spot, like this. They did this every time one enemy showed up. When they were about to get punched or killed, they would always take a grenade first of all, guys, guys, before I threw the grenade in his hand, I have to revive this one. And he just took the Ottoman. One fuse and we threw it at the British and would wait for it to detonate. Well, they would flip and run. When the British was about to run too, the grenade would detonate right at the spot, and the Ottomans would have time to escape, and the British lost, and the Ottomans became independent, and it started the uprising and became independent, and they formed their own country. Also, France, Italy, and Greece is included in this war. And Turkey was overjoyed. And now, as you know, Turkey is a peaceful country. But now, Turkey is just a peaceful country. See you guys in the next video.